Chapter 26 Victor. In a park-like clearing, the Gothic Revival mansion stands out like a candle in the dark. Its limestone walls, fancy turrets, and four-story towers belong to another period, another time and place. An ornate glass door swings open as if it expected us to knock, and it didn't want to be touched. "Don't let that bother you," Luke says. "Rumor has it that this house has a mind of its own. If it doesn't want you inside, you'll never get past the threshold." A chilling welcome, to say the least. I step across the sill, half expecting a barrier to block my path. It doesn't come, and we stop in a large foyer. Over our heads is a large wrought-iron chandelier suspended from a vaulted ceiling. The strange patterns cast on the stone walls and marble floor remind me of the creepy shadows that visited my room as a child. Ghosts, goblins, and other supernatural images that I thought only existed in scary stories. Heavy footsteps like blasts from a cannon approach us. On impulse, my hands clench. "My father is waiting for you," says a trim guy of average height. The shine from his slick back hair is enough to blind someone. This must be the son of the Najax, Colt. He shoves his hands in his jeans pocket and pivots on his heel. "Go on," Luke prompts. "I'll wait here." Colt throws over his shoulder. "No, he wants to speak with you as well." We follow him down a narrow hall and into a large side room on the left. An oversized fireplace takes up one wall. The same ghoulish figure stands in the flames. What appears to be a man sits in the darkness behind a desk that takes up one end of the space. The moon, shining in the sharply arched window at his back, outlines his body. From this distance, there is nothing intimidating about this being. There must be more to him than what can be seen. A younger being, an incubus with longish hair and a trimmed beard, stands to the Najax's right. Words, unfamiliar to me, are exchanged between the two, and the incubus comes around the desk. "Colt," says the incubus with a hint of a grin on his face. "Tiberius." The son of the Najax glares at the stranger. "It's been a long time." "Yes, it has, cousin. Let's catch up once Uncle is done with this," he offers, and leaves us alone with Colt and the Najax. "Come closer," the voice behind the desk booms. I step forward and get a good look at the demon the supernaturals in this town fear the most. His close-cropped hair stands out around his head like black fringe. Although incubi don't age past 35, his face didn't get the message. Deep lines cross his forehead and bags lie beneath eyes so dark light doesn't reflect in them. I guess pure evil trumps youthfulness. I am not pleased with the events detailed to me by my son. "Which of you will explain what happened?" the Najax demands and steeples his fingers over his chest. Luke clears his throat from behind me. Sir, if anyone is to blame, it should be me. I failed to clarify." "You failed on infinite levels. I shall deal with you in a moment," the Najax states. His eyes sweep over me. I clench my jaw. "What I want to know is why did you," he points to me, "defile my future daughter-in-law?" I push my shoulders back and stand as tall as possible. This demon enjoys tormenting. He intimidates Luke, but he won't get to me so easily. "With all due respect, I didn't know the succubus was promised to your son when we met. Had I known, I would not have asked her out a second time." He raises an eyebrow. "Am I to believe that she never told you?" "She did on the second date." I chose not to believe her. The Najax opens his mouth. I raise my hand. "Permit me to continue?" He nods. "It was one kiss and one unfortunate bite. My maker nor his told me about the ramifications of my actions. I thought it would go unnoticed. I had no idea of a curse and the consequences of that curse. I accept full responsibility, however." His eyes narrow. "Is this true, Luke?" "Yes, sir," he mutters. The Najax drops his hands and places his forearms on the desk. "I should end your protege, Luke. His blatant defiance should not go unpunished." I hold my chin high. "You do what you must, but I stand by my actions. I followed my heart. Nothing you do to me will change what has happened." A raucous noise, akin to laughter, comes from deep within the Najax. "Don't worry. I will not end your existence. This time." Luke drops his head. "Thank you, sir." "As for you," the Najax interjects, "I expected more from the so-called leader of Constance." I hear gagging behind me. I turn and see Luke on his knees with his hands wrapped around his own throat. His eyes protrude and his face reddens. I look back and see the Najex's glowing red eyes. Stop it! This is not his fault, I yell. The Najex's eyes fade back to their inky blackness. Luke's body collapses on the floor. You stand up for your maker even when he failed to do his duty. Killing him will not change the facts. He cocks his head to the side. What are those facts? The succubus has become some sort of hybrid. We're not sure what kind yet. She drinks blood and has fangs. I doubt if they will ever be of any use to her, though. Time will tell. The Najex rubs his chin. Interesting. Luke, advise Consul that we have met on the matter. I will allow this relationship. Thank you, I say. Don't be so quick to thank me. I'm only permitting it so that I can study your relationship. I want to see how you manage her Lilin tendencies should they remain. Also, I will be seeking a way to break the curse. That's generous. Not really. If I break the curse, the succubus will still owe my son his heir. You can keep the vessel after the debt has been paid. I clench my fist so tight I feel the blood drip down my fingers. This beast has no regard for life. I wonder if his son thinks of Kelsey so casually. Be grateful that is all I'm asking from you. Luke, I'm giving you one more opportunity. Screw this one up and I'll be adding your mate to my stable on a permanent basis. The more I hear from this demon, the less I like him. He's a despicable creature who probably gets off on inflicting pain upon others. Najex, tell me why you're not the head of council. It's obvious you're the one wielding power. A cynical smile twists his thin lips. I don't need a title to be powerful, like some in this room. Besides, those who lead have to answer to their followers. I answer to no one. Luke bumps my shoulder as he comes up beside me. Forgive his questioning, sir. He doesn't know his place. The Najex's eyes dart between my maker and me. I suggest you say no more, Luke. Your prodigy is quickly losing his respect for you. Now, I have more pressing matters to attend to. He waves his hand in the air. Be gone. We turn to leave, but Colt blocks our path. What do you want? I ask. I'm just delivering my own warning, which is, harm Kelsey in any way, and I'll be sure you spend your eternity in hell, he says. So, she means something to him. Doesn't matter. I've had enough threats for one night. Cross my path again, and you'll join me there. Luke urges, let's go, Victor. All I can do is glare at the being who created me. The Najex was right about one thing this evening. It's a silent drive back to the mansion, and I'm grateful for it. Both of us keep our thoughts locked up tight. After the display at the lair of the Najex, I have no desire to be in Luke's company, and I retreat to my room as soon as we enter the house. Before I can close the door, however, Beaumont comes in. What do you want? It's the girl. She returned to her house. I whirl around and snap. You allowed her to leave? It wasn't up to me. Your mother had a word with her. I grab a duffel from beneath the bed. I start pulling clothes from a drawer and stuffing them inside. Running away has never solved anything, Master Victor. I'm not running away. I snarl and continue packing. I need time to think, that's all. How did the meeting go with the Najex? Would have been nice to know that Luke was such a coward. Beaumont goes into the adjoining bathroom and returns with a bag of my toiletries. He isn't a coward. Everyone has a healthy fear of the Najex. I get it that he's a demon, but he's a powerful demon. For once, listen to me. Don't do anything to anger him. Your being here proves that he has the capacity to forgive. It doesn't happen often. My fingers grip the edge of the dresser, and I stare at the floor. He won't punish us. He's even allowing Consul to approve our relationship. That's good. You're getting what you want. There's still a price, which is, the Najex is going to find a way to break the curse. If he's successful, Kelsey would have to give his son an heir. Oh. Beaumont glides over to the bed and sits down. Your anger is understood, but you should know that the curse is centuries old. Unless Morgana left the spell with an ancestor, I don't believe it can be undone. Who's Morgana? The sorceress who cast the spell. She had a vampire lover who fell in love with a succubus. The reason for the curse. I zip up my bag. I'm taking Kelsey to my place. Probably a good idea. I'll contact you when the meeting date has been set. I sling my bag over my shoulder and walk out.